all things, that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Did you know that you are both human and divine, and that you deserve to live a better life in Christ right here on earth? Our messages are practical, they are raw, they're fun, and they are focused on real issues as it relates to your spiritual life, health life, your mental life, your financial life, your relationship life, and even your business life and community life. Today, we have another real life application message designed especially for you and your family. Remember, before we get started today, you can learn more about Renew Community Church free life coaching by visiting our website, renewcommunitychurch.org, or you can listen to us every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. each Sunday on YouTube, Renew Community Church live stream, or reach me at 513-884-7832. I want you to join me now for another life-changing message with Charlie Winburn, your life coach, right here in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Good morning, and welcome to Sunday morning Mastermind Class and Clinic designed with you in mind. Well, guys, get ready for another awesome message. Coach Winburn will be up shortly with another awesome message. He's gonna be doing a series about lying. Last week he started it, and he's gonna be dealing with lying and dishonesty. Why are there so many dishonest people? He's still dealing with people being dishonest and lying and not being transparent. Why are there so many dishonest people? He's going to be dealing with that this morning. He's going to be dealing with why there are so many dishonest husbands and wives. Yeah, why are there so many dishonest husbands and wives? What is dishonesty? He's going to be dealing with what is dishonesty. What does it mean to be honest? What does it mean to be honest? You know, some people have no idea what it means to be honest, which Coach Winburn is going to be up shortly. He's going to break it down to you to let you know what does it mean to be dishonest. Another topic he's going to be dealing with is why there are so many dishonest Christians. You would think that Christians would be the most truthful and honest people that you deal with, or most transparent people that you deal with. No, there are a lot of Christians that are not dishonest. So he's going to be dealing with that, why there are so many dishonest Christians. All right, so get ready, guys. Coach Winburn will be dealing with another series. He started last week dealing with lying and dishonest. So this is going to be part 2 of a 3-part series. So get ready. Coach Winburn will be up shortly dealing with why there are so many dishonest people and Christians that we're dealing with every day. All right, again, good morning, and welcome to Sunday morning Mastermind Class and Clinic. I am Coach Dan, and I am here today just to give you a brief recap and to get this service started off right. It's a clinic. This is Sunday morning Mastermind Class and Clinic. It's designed with you in mind. It's a clinic also because it helps you to relax and feel better about things, especially situations that make you feel unhappy. It also helps you with your unmet needs, your unhealed hurts, and your unresolved issues. And we all have some unmet needs, unhealed hurts, and unresolved issues. So the Mastermind Class and Clinic is designed to help you in those areas of your life. It's a good day to be alive, but it's an even better day to live with emotional happiness. And that's the key. We want to get you to the side of emotional happiness, being emotionally happy. If you can just get you to be emotionally happy, you're halfway there. And emotional happiness is just a feeling of joy, contentment, and satisfaction. Joy, peace, and happiness. That's what we strive for. We strive to have joy, peace, and happiness every 60 seconds of the day. We want to learn to walk in joy, peace, and happiness every 60 seconds. We would like for you to connect with us today on Facebook and YouTube. We would like for you to like today's message. Do you know anyone that is dishonest? Do you know any Christians that are dishonest? Do you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, or wife that's dishonest? Well, share today's message with them. Like today's message. We would like for you to make comments. The reason why it's important to make comments is when you make comments, it challenges or encourage and inspire someone else based upon that comment that you make. So just make comments today. And if you're on YouTube, we would just like for you to subscribe to us on YouTube. All right, let's talk about our mastermind class and clinic and what it is and what it is not, okay? Our mastermind class and clinic is built on biblical principles coupled with basic science so that we can live a better and divine life right here on earth. That's a better and divine life right here. A lot of people think that we live a better life once we're gone, but you can have a better and divine life right here on this earth. Now, there's two parts to that statement. The God part of you, which is your divine part, which is your spirit, which is embedded inside of you. Once you accept Christ into your life, your spirit part is good. It's the other side, though, that we struggle with, and that's your humanity. That's the part that needs the work. Your humanity. We want to deal with the human side of you. Your divinity or your divine side is already taken care of, but it's that your humanity is where we struggle and have all of our problems and our confrontation. So the mastermind class and clinic is all about helping you to become a better version of yourself in your humanity. The mastermind class and clinic is for people who love God, but they don't like the traditional church. Mastermind class and clinic is not a religious service. It's not a service where you come in, you have a Sunday school class, and you have a choir singing. Our mastermind class and clinic broke away from those traditions a while ago. Mastermind class and clinic is designed to help people do like our foundational scripture, which everyone knows is Romans 12 and verse 2. And it says, "Don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So the renewing of your mind is a process. It's not something that you do just one time and you're done. The renewing of your mind actively involves changing how you think to align with God's word and truth, replacing the negative thoughts with positive faith-based thoughts. All right? So we want to make sure that we are renewing our mind. Every 60 seconds, we got an opportunity to renew our mind if things are not going the way that we would like for them to go. All right, so let's talk about our 31-day life story calendar. And it's already June the 7th. And what we do with the 31-day focused life story calendar is we tell one story each day, 3 times a day, up to 60 seconds each day, and we do this for 31 days. And today is June the 7th. And day 7 reads, "It is my divine and human right to forgive myself and others today." It is your divine and human right to forgive first yourself and then others today. So you have a divine right. It's a right for you to forgive yourself. Some things that you've been holding against yourself, you have a right today to forgive yourself. And then others that have wronged you or did you wrong, you have a right today to forgive them. We also like to do the next day, which is the 8th. And it reads, "It is my divine and human right to trust today." It is your divine and human right to trust today. So it is your divine and human right to forgive yourself and others today. And this is your divine and human right to trust others today. So learn how to write your own story. And you can do that by simply going to 60secondstoafocusedlife.com to watch 11 of Coach Winburn's free videos. Learn how to write your own story so you can live a better and divine life right here on earth. We know it takes approximately 21 days to get rid of the negative vibrations, but in 31 days, by doing this, you will have created for yourself a positive, life-changing emotional vibration. And that's the purpose of the 31-day life story calendar. You want to change it from a negative vibration to a positive, life-changing emotional vibration. All right? It takes 60 seconds, though, for the invisible laws of attraction to fully jumpstart and activate in your life. And that's based upon whatever you focus on. That's whether good or bad. The laws of attraction is always reading, matching your vibrations, your feelings, your moods, and your energy. All right, so let's talk about, I'm going to do a brief recap of some of the things that Coach Winburn talked about last week. You know, last week's message, he was dealing with why do people lie and how to deal with dishonesty. Again, this is a part 2 of last week's message that he's going to be dealing with today on why there are so many dishonest Christians and so many dishonest people. But what does it mean to lie? What does it mean to lie? A lie is a deliberate falsehood, communicating something known to be untrue. A lie is withholding the truth, selecting not to disclose pertinent information. A lie is conveying false impressions, presenting information in a way that leads others to believe something is untrue. What does it mean to be dishonest? What does it mean to be dishonest? It's a habitual misrepresentation. That's when a person has a pattern of just lying all the time. You know somebody like that. Evasion of accountability. What is dishonesty? An evasion of accountability. And that's simply avoiding responsibility. What is dishonesty? Deceptive social behavior. And that's engaging in behavior specifically to be deceitful. But what does it mean to lack transparency? So what does it mean to lack transparency? Opacity in decision-making. Important choices are made without clear disclosure. People make important choices without clear disclosure. What does it mean to have a lack of transparency? You have a hidden criteria or methods. The standards, rules, or allegations are not only shared with others. What about lack of transparency, concealed conflict of interest? If you have a lack of transparency, you have a concealed conflict of interest. You're not revealing relationships or incentives that have a biased outcome. So these are just some things that he was breaking down. What does it mean to lie? Does it mean to be dishonest? And what does it mean not to be transparent? So most people you deal with on a regular basis probably lie. Remember last week we said that if you know somebody who lie or dishonest or not transparent, or what? You may be the person who lie or not dishonest, or dishonest and not transparent. So Coach gave us an assignment last week. He gave us an assignment last week to find 5 people that you haven't been completely honest with, and ask you to go to them or call them or talk to them and share with them what you need or wanted to always say. Share with them by being honest and transparent. Now, Coach said only 5 people. I found 9 people this past week, that I shared with. So I found 9 people that I actually talked to about some things that I wasn't. And then some things is that you really don't want to hurt, when you're being honest and transparent, you really don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or upset them, or you are afraid of the outcome. So sometimes you kind of hold back. That's a normal reaction when you think that the person may be upset or become upset because of what you're saying to them. But being honest helps improve your spiritual life. It helps improve your health life. It helps improve your mental. It helps improve your finances, and it helps improve your relationships. And it opens doors so that people can begin to trust you. Sometimes there's no right time to be honest. Yeah, sometimes there's no right time to be honest and transparent. We got to see the wisdom. We have to seek the wisdom of God to know when is the right time to be honest and transparent with someone. And just because you are honest and transparent with someone doesn't mean that it will be a positive outcome. Yeah, don't get it twisted. So if you sitting down with someone and being honest and transparent about something that's bad and that may upset that person, it may not be a positive outcome. They may get upset. They may want to, anything could happen. So again, that's why you have to seek the wisdom of God when you get ready to do that. You must be prepared for the good or the bad, the outcome. If you're in the business of hurting people, you may use honesty and transparency to hurt people. If you're in the business of hurting people, sometimes people will use that, say, well, I'm just being honest with you, but they're using that technique to be deceptive and to hurt someone, and that's not the proper way to deal with that. All right, being honest and transparent with someone does not mean they will turn out in your favor. So it may not turn out in your favor, but in the long run, it's worth it. So you want to do that. If you start to be honest with someone, here's things that can happen if you start to be honest with someone. They may walk away from the relationship. If you start disclosing information that they don't like, then they may walk away from the relationship. And the breach may be irreversible for some people. It may be irreversible. What you just told them or what you just did or what you tell them that you've done, it may be irreversible. That's the end. The person may gaslight you. You're being honest with them, they may gaslight you and make you feel like you're telling a lie. That person may physically attack you. Again, this is if you start to be honest with someone. They may minimize it. They may shift the blame on you. But being honest and transparent may be an opportunity to start a great relationship. So you want to be honest and you want to be transparent at all times. We want to be honest and transparent. It could save the relationship. Sometimes just being honest in the relationship actually saves the relationship or make the relationship better. It could also build trust and credibility. It can also build trust and credibility. So you want to be honest whenever feasible. Try to be honest and transparent and not dishonest, because it's very easy to be dishonest. We know people who are dishonest and don't tell the truth when the truth will do. They choose to be dishonest. And a lot of times it's a Christian or people who call themselves Christians. They're sometimes are the worst ones that will say some things and you know that is not true. And they are lying to you or not being honest with you, and you know this, but you just let them go ahead on and just get it out. So a lot of times it's Christians who are not being honest with us. Okay, also, it can also strengthen the relationship. If you've been honest with someone, it could actually now make the relationship stronger or better than it was. So being honest and transparent in the relationship goes a long way. So being honest will help you in the long run as opposed to being dishonest. Again, it's very, very easy to be dishonest. It's very easy to be dishonest. And sometimes it's a struggle to be honest. It's very easy to be dishonest, but there's a struggle. We struggle sometimes with being honest because we don't want to hurt that person. We don't want to upset that person, and we don't want to lose that person. So sometimes we hide the truth. So being honest is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. Again, it improves your health life, your mental life, your finances, your relationship, and your business life. So the best thing that you could do is to be totally honest and transparent and not be dishonest. All right, guys, so get ready. Coach Winterburn will be up shortly with another, part 2 of dishonesty and not being transparent. So get ready. Why there are so many dishonest Christians. Get ready. Coach going to break this thing down for you shortly and explain to you why there are so many dishonest Christians. And with that, I'd like to bring up the other coach, Coach Chuck.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome everybody to the Sunday morning masterclass and clinic. I tell you, we're going to have fun today. We're going to have fun today. It's going to be a great, great message today. And the message is why there's so many dishonest people out here. We're going to have fun with it and really make some things happen in this space. Coach Winburn is going to be up, and he's going to talk about this whole thing about people being dishonest. So the message is going to be on dishonesty, and we're going to have fun with it. But before I get started, I'm going to give you the 4 things I'd like for you to do. First thing I'd like for you to do, dear sir, dear ma'am, what I'd like for you to do is to like our message. Hit the little emoji on there. I've already liked both YouTube and Facebook already before I came up. So what we'd like for you to do is to like the message. That's number 1. Number 2, what we'd like for you to do is to share the message. I've already shared it on Facebook, so I shared it out on Facebook. You can text it to people. You can send it a lot of different ways. So you want to go ahead and like that message. That's something that you want to be able to do. Next part I'd like for you to be able to do is we'd like for you to comment. Please, sir, please, ma'am, comment at the message. We'd like for you to comment, be able to comment. Comments, when you make a comment, it helps you, but it also helps the people in the community that reads that comment. Whether they agree or disagree with you, it's still going to help them. So that's the thing that we have going on. And then the last thing is if you're on YouTube, please, sir, please, ma'am, we'd like for you to subscribe. So I've subscribed as well, did that a long time ago. So if Facebook comes up, if YouTube comes up, you'll be able to hear the message at some point. We'll be doing messages. Winburn will be doing message during the week as we build this thing out. So in any event, we're just going to have fun with the message today. Coach Winburn is going to be up. I'm going to come off frame a little bit so you can read it a little bit better. And so the question is, why are there so many dishonest Christians out there? Here's the next one. What does it mean to be honest? What does it mean to be honest? Okay, we need to know that. What is honesty? Why are there so many dishonest husbands and wives? Why are there so many dishonest people? And so these are the promos, if you will, and you're going to get the answer to these promos when Coach Winburn comes up. So what is this all about, the Mastermind Class and Clinic? The Mastermind Class and Clinic is built on biblical principles coupled with basic science and neuroscience so that we can have a better divine and human life on the planet Earth. Now, notice I said divine and human. Your divine part of you, that is the God part of you. That's the God part of you, your spirit man. That's the God part of you that is pure, which is holy, which is perfect because it's connected to God in that way. But the human part of you, that's the part that has issues. And so our ministry is dealing with the human part of you. We're working on your humanity, your humanity. Oftentimes when people go to churches and they get involved with the church, they accept Jesus Christ, there is this misbelief that when you become a believer that things change, and that's not true. What it really means is that you're at the beginning stages of a process where you have to renew yourself and improve yourself if you want the better part. You want better part of your life. The Mastermind Class and Clinic is for people who love God but don't like traditional churches. And so what is the Mastermind Clinic? What is it and what is it not? First of all, it is not a religious service. Years ago when I first came here, we had a very traditional type of church. We had a religious service. We had buses that came here, and we brought kids in. We taught them some scriptures, gave them some food, that type of stuff. We had a Bible class for adults, and then we had the worship service. We had one of the best praise teams and all that kind of jazz, and we had all this stuff going on. We had different events here, man. We had all kind of events. We had events that we would do after service. We used to do a football thing. We brought people in and dressed everything up to football, for the Super Bowl. I mean, we've done plays here. We've done concerts here. We've done all kinds of things. We've had all types of events. I mean, we've had events where we had horses going around here. We done had tents. We had people out in the house. We had all kind of stuff. We done everything that all of the traditional churches have done, but we stopped doing it. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. I mean, it's not a Sunday school class. It's not going to be, we start at Joshua 1 and then go to the next chapter next week and the third chapter next week. No, it's not church as usual. Now, here's what's different. What's different about what we've done here is that we've evolved. Maybe about 10 years ago, Coach Winburn had this feeling there was going to be a great falling away of Christians from the churches in America. And we started doing what's called focus groups. We brought people in here, and we asked them questions, paid them money, fed them, all that kind of jazz, asked a whole bunch of questions. And we did this for about 2 years. We put all this information together. In fact, we went out to a guy, Dan, this guy had a PhD in church growth. We actually stumbled into this guy, and he gave us the real deal. He had done his PhD study on it. And what we found out was that he confirmed what the data we were getting. The problem is that in our natural mind, we thought it was young folks that were falling away from church. But the data said, guess what? It's across every generation. Every generation, different levels, have fallen away from church. It didn't make a difference if they grew up at church, if they didn't grow up at church, whether their parents were Christian. We looked at all that data. It didn't make a difference. There's this great falling away where people are falling away from church. Now, what's starting to happen is people are coming back to church. Praise the Lord. But when we started looking at that, we had to ask, the most important question was why? And when we started asking why, that's what flipped our church. When we asked the question why, and we asked this for all people, why? And the answer was churches weren't doing what Jesus did, period. Let me give you the answer. It took us a long time to get there because we were blinded by what? Tradition. We were blinded by the tradition that we've always done it this way. People have come for the past 50 years, the past 100 years doing it the same way. But what really happened is the church got away from Jesus. And so when we saw that, we had to stop what we were doing. So what we did is we changed everything we were doing. We had to examine it. We had to examine everything we were doing, and we realized there was a lot of things that were baked into traditional church, which is tradition. And so we have people that they didn't like folks that had tattoos. They didn't like folks that had piercing. They didn't like folks where maybe the guys had rings. When we looked at this, just crazy stuff. Some of the women didn't like other women in the church because their dresses were too high. or the guy's pants are too tight. I mean, it was just, when we started peeling the onion, and so what we did was we took all these golden calves, we took all of these traditions, we burned them up, we gave them away. Anybody wanted, they could come and have it. I mean, we had banners, all the stuff. We got rid of all that stuff, and we got focused in on, here's what we ended up focusing in on. We started focusing in on the love of God. I mean, Jesus didn't go out and the first thing he did was criticize people. You can't find that in the Bible. He didn't go out there and cut them up and then sew them back together. He loved them and offered them the kingdom. You got it? And so the love of God, so we focus in on the love of God. We focused in on compassion for all people. So we got away from not liking short people or tall people or light-skinned people or people that, not liking people that have hair is a little bit, has a tighter nap to it. You know what I'm saying? We got away from all that kind of stuff. We got away from whether the person was straight or gay. We got away from all that. We started having compassion for all people. We started focusing on them being ambassadors of God in today's world. We focus in on ruling and reigning in areas of our life. So we got away from all those different things that we felt were negative that were hurting churches. The other thing that we did is that this information that you're seeing up here, the promos, everything, we email that to you. You get everything that we got. We'll send that to you. So you can go back and look at it on Facebook, YouTube, go back through it. You can see the slides. You can make notes on the slides. You can use it to study on during the week. So we believe that we can help people in their humanity, and that's what this ministry is all about. We also know that you can believe in God, but that's not enough. As I kind of mentioned, believing in God is not enough. What you have to do is you have to change. You have to change if you want to do something better. If you want this year, 2026, to be better than last year, you got to change. If you want this month to be better than it was a year ago, you got to be different than what you were a year ago. And so you've got to make changes. See, without changing, nothing in your life is going to change. See, you can believe in God, but that's not enough to change your zip code, your wealth, your health, your influence, or your family. You, hate to tell you this, you have to change. You have to change in order for it to get better. And so that's what we believe. Albert Einstein said it this way: insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And so what do you have to do? The Mastermind Class and Clinic is designed to help people just like you renew your mind according to Romans 12:2, which reads, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by what? By the renewing of your mind, renewing of your mind. And so that's the thing that we're looking at. We want to renew your mind. And so the 31-day focus, we have what's called a 31-day focus like story calendar. We basically passed out thousands of these things all over the country. And so in this, you can get it. It's great information. It's a way for you to help you rewrite your mindset, which is very, very important. And so this is day 7. This is the June the 7th, and it reads, it is my divine and human right to forgive myself and others today. Let me say it again. It is my divine and human right to forgive myself and others today. And we also read the next day, the 8th, which will be Monday. It is my divine and human right to trust today. It is my divine and human right to trust today. And so I'm going to do the promos again so you can hear the promos. Coach Wimber will be up shortly. And in the promos, we're going to talk about why there's so many dishonest people. We're going to talk about why there's so many dishonest husbands and wives. What is honesty? Huh? what does it mean to be honest? We're going to talk about why there's so many dishonest Christians. So those are the topics we're going to have in here. And so we're going to have fun with that. Coach Winburn is going to really lay it out and share some things with you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about last Sunday. Last Sunday was very interesting. It was a message on lying. We had a bunch of people jump on and have conversations about lying. Lying is something that's persistent. Lying is something that has happened throughout, from the beginning of time. I mean, the first person that hadn't lied, who hadn't lied, raise your hand. I don't see nobody's hands up. So it's something that we've all done. And like Dan said, oftentimes we do it because we don't want to hurt the person's feelings. Some people do it because they want to use it as a baseball bat to beat somebody up. And so our posture is that we really, really, really want to be honesty. And so lying is not good. And so what I want to do is spend a moment and talk about what the Bible says about lying. What does the Bible say about lying? So as I looked at it, and I thought about it before, coming up here today, I'm like, well, wait a minute. You can go through the whole Bible, and there's lies all up in it. But the lies are in there not to tell people that they should lie. What it is teaching a story about humanity, our humanity. Why our humanity is jacked up. Does that make sense? It's all in there. So you have to look at it, and it's all in there. But I want to start with the big lie at the beginning of the Bible. The big lie at the beginning of the Bible, and I want to take a moment, talk about it, is that the Bible is filled with stories of people who lied, deceived, misled others, while God's commandments tells us always to tell the truth. Even some of the most prominent figures in the Bible, they resorted to lying at times. Now, that wasn't their heart, but they just did it. They just did it. Abram is one of my favorite characters, and he lied multiple times about his wife. Oh, no, that's my sister. He was lying because she was a good-looking woman, and he didn't want to get killed because of her looks. And so he lied to protect himself. But the biggest one starts at the beginning, and I want to just read it. It starts as Genesis. In the book of Genesis, in my opinion, this is the big lie. And so it starts off in the garden, and I want to just give you my take, my interpretation on it. Genesis 2, verses 16 and 17. This is God talking to Adam. And the Lord commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat, may freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest, therefore thou shalt surely die. Well, okay. Let's go forward a little bit. The serpent described as more cunning than any beast of the field. We skip down to Genesis 3. He approached Eve, and this is the thing that's really interesting. When people talk about this whole scenario, they make it seem like the serpent was talking to Eve by himself. That's not true. The serpent, and I'll read it, it says that the serpent approached Eve in a deceptive question. Has God said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? No. Notice how cunning he was. He changed the words around. That's not what God said. God said, of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat freely, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in that day thou shalt surely die. So what he did is he changed it just a little bit. He changed it just a little bit. And here's the thing everybody needs to know. Adam was standing right next to Eve when this was going down. Let me say it again. Adam was standing right next to Eve when this was going down. Because the word said, he said with her in there. So he was standing right next to him. And so Eve clarified that they could eat of all of the trees except the tree of knowledge of good and evil, as God had warned them that eating from it would lead to death. The serpent boldly contradicted God's word, stating, "You will not surely die." He further enticed Eve by claiming that eating the fruit would make them like gods. So what he did is he threw deception in there. Oh, you know, the reason why God don't want you to have of that tree because you be like him. And then you'll be a beast. You'll be like him. You be strong and powerful and have all this stuff. So what did he do? He attacked their ego, right? He was like, listen, he's going to stroke their ego. I'm just here to just build y'all up. And so you will not surely die. That's what the serpent said. For God knows that in the day that you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Eve was persuaded by the serpent to do what? To eat of the forbidden fruit, and then she gave it to Adam. Let me put a point here. Think about it. God told Adam what the rules were. Adam was supposed to do what? Tell his wife. Because God talked to Adam before Eve was even there. So what that says is that Adam, he did not lead his household the way he was supposed to. Number one, when the serpent rolled up to Eve, Adam should have killed the serpent. He was the ambassador of God on this earth. Serpent rolled up to him and started lying. He should have cut the serpent's head off right then and there. Cut it off or stomped him in the ground, whatever. Crushed him, killed him, whatever it was. But yet he allowed this serpent to do this, and then he had his wife eat the fruit. If he wasn't going to stop the serpent, he should at least stopped his wife. He messed up there. And then number three, he allowed his wife to do what? Convince him to eat the fruit. I know this is getting deep. When they ate the fruit, what happened? Their eyes were open. They realized that they were naked. They ended up seeing the world in a different way. They started seeing the world in their humanity, not in their divinity. And then, here's the other deep part. When all this was going down, Dan, God was there too. See, people talk about this whole thing about Adam and Eve. No. God is everywhere all the time. He's everywhere all the time. So he was there when the serpent was talking about all of this. Huh? Just like he's there when you be lying to your friends. He's there all the time. He's omnipresent. So he was there. He's like, this is a test. I wonder what they're going to do. Okay, they didn't pass the test. So first thing God says, who does he approach? He don't approach Eve. Who does he talk to? He talks to Adam because Adam's what? He was the first man. He was the head of the household. And then what Adam do? He said, this woman that you gave me, the woman that you gave me. And so they start doing the blame game. And then the woman said, oh, it was a serpent. So we're doing this blame game. And so you see the pattern, folks. And so because of that, let me say this, because of this disobedience, all of the people on the planet Earth have been impacted. God cursed the serpent to crawl on his belly and be an enemy to the woman's offspring. So Eve would experience childbirth. That's why women have pain in their childbirth. And they have desire for their husband's role. Adam is going to face hardship because he has to work hard. He has to work the ground. And then lastly is that they lost their divinity. In other words, their ability to live in the spirit realm. They ended up being constrained by our humanity. And so we're all constrained by our humanity, which means that at some point we will surely die. We're going to die at some point. Everybody has a measure of life, but all of us will die at some point. And so that's the thing that we have here, and that's the reason why lying is so important. Coach Winburn is going to be up shortly. I'm going to get off screen, go through the promos again. So the question is, why there's so many dishonest Christians? He's going to talk about what does it mean to be dishonest? I mean, what does it mean to be honest? What is honesty? Why there's so many dishonest husbands and wives? He's going to talk about why there's so many dishonest people. So these are the different promos in which Coach Winburn is going to come up and talk about. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my last few moments, I'm going to talk about basically, continue on his message on lying. I want to talk about why this whole concept of lying, what's the big problem with it, this, that, and the other. So we want to really deal with this whole thing about lying, okay? And so, like I said in the beginning, there are a lot of people that lie, right? A lot of people lie. And so that's an issue. Lying is a big issue for everybody, right? Like I said, I asked the question, how many people do you know that have lied, okay? And so nobody put their hands up, okay? So what is lying? What is lying all about as I go through this? Lying basically says, Coach Winburn went through here and talked about it. What is lying all about? Lying, the definition of lying, I want to make sure I get it the right way, the way he said it. Lying is a deliberate falsehood. It is communicating something known to be untrue with the intention to mislead. And so that's what lying is. It's deliberate. It's, you know that you're lying when you lie. People that spend a lot of time lying, what happens is they end up getting caught because there's a piece missing and somebody eventually catches them. Lying means withholding the truth with an intention to mislead. It means you are intended to mislead people. It means conveying a false impression. I know people that are very compassionate people. They love people, but guess what? They lie in terms of a relationship. Oh, I love you. I ain't got no problem with you. That ain't the truth. Let me say it again. You have people that say, oh, I love you. I'm here with you, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be hanging with you all the time. That's not really the truth, right? I mean, we saw that with Peter, and Jesus told him, he said, listen, you're going to deny me 3 times before the night's over with. Oh, no, I'm a bad man. You know, I cut that dude's ear off tonight for you. No, before the night's over, trust me, you're going to deny me 3 times. Number 4, there's a false representation of facts. This is a big one, folks. This is a false representation of facts. We see this where people do this all the time. People do it in business. People do it in relationships. People do it in their dating process, all this kind of jazz. It is a false representation of the facts. Number 5, it's intentional misstatements. In other words, you can say stuff just like the serpent did in the Garden of Eden. He intentionally misstated what God said. He intentionally misstated what God said. So it's an intentional misstatement. And then sometimes It's a deceptive assertion about the matters of fact. In Dan's business, he's an officer, so I'm sure he gets this all the time. Oh man, he's dealing with a situation. No man, that dude hit me first, or that person did this to me first. That ain't even the truth once you start unpeeling the onion. So that's not really the truth. Sometimes it's a conscious manipulation of credibility. In other words, they leverage some trust in order to get things from you. Sometimes it's a false warranty or promise. Oh man, this product is gonna last you the next 10 years. Okay? It's gonna be good. Or we're gonna service this machine, or we're gonna service your car for the next little while. So all of these sometimes happens, and it's about dishonesty. Now, what does it mean to be dishonest? What it means to be dishonest is that you as a person, you habitually misrepresent things. We were talking after the service, and there was this guy I went to college with. It was just, this guy in my life, this guy is the biggest liar I've ever met in my life. This guy, it's kind of funny. We're in this small school, and there were maybe about 30 blacks in the whole school, or 40 blacks in the whole school, and he was in the school, and he would go, and everybody knew this guy was a liar. He was like, he couldn't help himself. And even though he had this reputation of being a liar, he was like the Houdini of liars. He'd come into a room, everybody knew he was lying about something, and then he had the ability to shift the room and get everybody to think that there was some truth in there, and it was a lie. So he had it real bad. He was a habitual liar. Now, I don't know if that guy's a liar, because that's in Chicago. I don't think a lot of people in Chicago would take kindly for him lying so much. He might lie to the wrong person and might shorten his life. I don't know. Hopefully he's learned not to do that, but like I said, he was skilled. He was like the Houdini of lying in the United States. Number two, there's the evasion of credibility. Consistently avoiding responsibility by lying and blaming others doesn't help you. Oh, nobody ever wants to hire me. Nobody ever wants to give me a shot. I was at this job, and these people were so mean to me. Stop lying. You're a terrible employee. That's why you keep on getting fired. Your skill set ain't no good. You need to have therapy. You got childhood trauma going on. Don't be lying on everybody else. If you got a lot of issues following you, it's you. Let me say it again. If you got a lot of issues going on, it's you. Number three, sometimes people get into twisting the truth for their advantage. So they might reframe a situation or reframe facts in order to serve their own interests. Sometimes it's a moral inconsistency. In other words, they value convenience over being accurate or having integrity. Sometimes people do it in social behavior. I mean, social media, most of that's a big lie, because when you look at the pictures of these folks, and they're right, Dan, they don't look nothing like the pictures. I mean, they got pictures when they were 20 years younger. They got pictures when they were 20 years younger up there, and you see them in real life, and they on a cane. They got a walker's cane. You're like, what? I'm looking at this picture. Is this you? Oh, man. So anyway, it's deceptive social behavior. It's a breach of trust. Sometimes people violate trust, and it's really interesting. You have people that are narcissists, people that want to be served by other people, And what they'll do is they'll take advantage of people and break their trust and stuff like that. I've always had this rule, and I've developed it over time. And the rule is real simple. I hear what a person says, but I watch what they do. Because what you do is more powerful than what you say. Let me say it again. I'll listen to what you say, but I'm going to watch what you do. Because what you do in most cases is more powerful, and it speaks louder than what you say. So those are the things there. So what do you want to do? There are a lot of definitions out here that deal with lack of transparency. And so what you want to do is make sure that you want to have integrity. Coach Winburn asked us to go out and see if there are 5 people that you didn't tell the truth to, and maybe there needs to be some honesty in your relationship. And so hopefully you saw that. Hopefully you went out and talked to these people and started to work with those relationships. I believe that many of these relationships, particularly the ones that are really, really important, are people close to you. In other words, your spouse and your kids and maybe your cousins or relatives or some co-workers. If you haven't done that yet, start with that group of people and see if there's some things that you need to be talking about that would be important for them to know. And so those are things that we really need to do. I'm going to step out of frame and do these promos as Coach Winburn's get ready to come up here. But the whole concept and what we're going to talk about today is why are there so many dishonest people? He's going to talk about why are there so many dishonest husbands and wives. He's going to talk about what is honesty. What is honesty? He's going to talk about what does it mean to be honest. He's going to talk about why are there so many dishonest Christians out there. And so these are the topics that Coach Winburn's going to have as we get ready for him to come up. And as I finish up here, why is it important to be honest? The reason why it's important to be honest is, this is something I believe, because when you have integrity, you have this great gift that other people don't do and don't have. And so a person that has integrity, their words mean more than somebody that lies a lot and does not have integrity. Does that make sense? And sometimes you have to tell people the truth, and they may not like the truth, but I think you need to say it anyway. Like I said, you have these people that are very compassionate. They don't want to hurt people's feelings. And they say, oh, Kimberly, I love you. You my bud. But they don't really like Kimberly at all. You know what I'm saying? They have these compassionate people. And so these really compassionate people don't know why people don't like them. No, I know a bunch of really, really strong, compassionate people, and folks don't like them. Why? Because they try to say that they love everybody. There was a guy that used to say, I love everybody. And this person would fight with he'd say, I love everybody, and he would fight with anybody. He'd be talking about you like a dog. After he said, I love everybody, he'd talk about you like a dog. And when I came in, I was scratching my head. How could he say that? And to me, he was an angry black man. I just didn't understand that. So, in any event, don't be like that. Have integrity, because when you have integrity, guess what? It gives you some gifts. When folks mess with Brother Winburn, what you see is what you get. He's gonna tell you what's on his mind. He ain't gonna pull no punches, and then he'll talk about you. And then he'll get you to laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? He'll throw humor in it, and then get you to laugh about your weakness. I done seen him do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? He'll get you laughing about your weakness. And he didn't cut you with a razor blade in a nice way. And so in any event, there's a lot that we can learn by having honesty and integrity in our relationships that we have with people. And at this point, I'm going to bring up Coach Winburn. Okay, 1 minute. So in any event, some other things. Here's some practical ways. Let's talk about practical ways to stop lying and start telling the truth. First of all, become aware. First, just, you lying. Stop lying to yourself. You know what? Find a trigger to what's causing you to lie. Okay, you need to find, you got to dig down to the root of the thing. If you lying regularly and constantly, you need to start writing down, okay, up under these situations, I start lying. What's causing me to lie? Am I lying because I'm trying to make myself seem bigger in front of people? Whatever it is, you got to dig down and find out what is the root of this lie. So number one, we got to practice self-awareness. Check in with yourself and ask, why do you feel this need to lie, this urgency to lie? Understand what your trigger is. Is your trigger fear? Is it guilt? Is it avoidance? What makes you do this lie? You got to get to the root of it. You got to get to the root of it. You've got to get to the root of it. And then I think there's a flip side of it. The flip side of it is when you start to love yourself. I believe that when you start to love yourself, then you don't care about what other people think about you, because some of these lies are basically a cover because of the weaknesses within you. Does that make sense? You don't feel good about yourself, and so you're going to lie to try to promote yourself. I think people need to learn to love themselves, so therefore you can feel good about yourself, and then all this other stuff won't matter as much. I'm at a place in my life right now, I don't care really how people think. I do and I don't. But for the most part, I really don't. I'm at that point. And when I was younger in life, that was a big issue for me. It was a big issue for me. Number two, you got to clarify your values. Know what you stand on. Hopefully you stand on honesty and integrity. Then number three, start with telling the truth. Start off with doing the small truths, and then you can get up and build your integrity. So at this point, I'm going to pass the baton to Coach Winburn, and he's going to talk about this whole issue today. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and we greet you in the name of Jesus Christ, the Anointed One and His anointing, and we want to thank each and every one of you all. Coach, do I hit where I need to start, or do you all hit that for me? How do we do that? I don't want to. Maybe I did. I just hit it. Hopefully that's it. Yep. Welcome to the Sunday morning mastermind class and clinic. We appreciate those that are here, those that are steadfast and favorable, those who are steadfast, unmovable, always bounding in the work of the Lord. So we appreciate you today for those that are being steadfast. And I tell you, since COVID, I've missed one day. Can y'all believe that? While everybody else, do whatever they're doing. And then when they get in trouble, they call me, and I'm nowhere I don't even answer. Yeah, the phone disconnected. Are y'all with me? Call on Jesus. Are you with me? Call on Him. Well, welcome to the Sunday morning mastermind class and clinic designed for you. Free gift for you today, your ebook on today's message. And we're just going to move right along. 60 seconds to a focuslife.com. Sign up for your free chapter 7 of the book if you'd like to get that. And there are 2 easy ways to give today. Coach Dan Ray, here are my tithes and offerings I have here. So I'll be the first partaker to give. So that's hundreds of dollars there that can go in to be a blessing for those who would like to continue to bless the ministry in one way or another. Cash App. And this is an opportunity where you can just give liberally. I never have to. I've been in those congregations where people beg for money and all that. That's crazy, you all. Either people are going to obey the word or they're not. they're going to be honest about when you accept Jesus Christ as personal Savior and you embrace the Bible. And yes, we know the Bible has some errors in it, but when you embrace the content of what God has said in His Word, you'll want to give. You want to give. You want to. Is that right, Coach Dad Ray and Coach Futel? And so I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. So let's give you all a few minutes here to do that. Coach Futel, there's a little sparkles up there. Maybe that's just my eyes. I see. It may not mean anything. It's just a little. It don't, because it looks like a herd of flies coming in. Do you see it on the top there? Cash App. Yeah, I just thought it was I want to make sure my glasses are. So if Coach see it, I'm fine, right? The blessings of the Lord be upon you. Also by mail, if you'd like to give by mail. Let's just give people an opportunity here to pause and to give, and it shall be given in good measure. Now, I know the gas prices, all this stuff is high, but I'm going to tell you all something. I've just never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. And the Lord is so good and so wonderful, and out of nowhere, the way is made. Won't you say, out of nowhere, the way is made for us financially. So we appreciate that. Cash App, those by mail if you'd like to give. And we want to thank you for your gift today. We really thank you for your gift. And today we're going to be talking about, we put these promos out to kind of give people in different markets on different things about this subject. Now, this is not really an exciting subject. Y'all know that, Coach. Is that right, my beloved Kib? This is not an exciting subject. Because you know why? Because most people, now I heard one of the sisters say last week that most of us lie. No, not me. I'm sorry. I don't do that. But most people do lie, and they think it's cute. But when you lie, guess what you're doing? You're deceiving yourself. And you're deceiving others. And the Bible talks about self-deception. So you're actually deceiving your own self when you lie. And then you have to ask yourself, why do I lie? Well, one of the reasons why you lie, because you don't trust God and His Word. And and then your family, your epigenetics, your stuff that's been passed down from generations. Your father and mother lied. Your grandma lied, the siblings lied, and you just took on those behaviors, and as a result, now you get on the job, you're dishonest. They have you at the post office, you steal money there's people who went to jail, you all, because they put cash money at the postal service, and people, their dishonesty. So why are there so many dishonest people? Why are there so many dishonest husbands and wives? You would have better relationships and better marriages if people were honest and just transparent. But for some reason, well, we know why. It's because of their childhood trauma. They've seen their parents do it. Epigenetics. Today we'll talk about what is honesty. Again, these kind of messages, for some reason, you don't shout over these. But let me tell you this. If we believe the Word to be true and what God said in His Word is honest, just think if God said all the stuff written in the Bible is a lie. Boy, that would be wouldn't that be tragic? That would be. So what does it mean to be honest? And then we got a disclaimer. Let's go to some of the scriptures. All of these are in your ebook today. All this stuff is in your ebook. I guess you all can see me here, right? Yep. All this is in your ebook. So let's take a look. Yeah, all the Amen Clinic, Clifton Natural Foods, where I get some of our herbs and vitamins, domestic violence. There's 60 Seconds to a Focused Life. Let me make sure I can stand here. Okay. Is that helpful, everybody? You can see everything? Okay. Okay. Let's look at some of the scriptures here. It says, lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are His delight. Wherefore, putting away lying. The Bible says, just put it away. Speaking every man the truth with his neighbor, for we are members of one another. Okay, is everybody still here? It says, lie not one to another, seeing that you have put off the old man and his deeds. A false balance, of not telling the truth is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is a delight. And then it speaks here, or let's go here. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely. The Lord who shall abide in thy tabernacle speaketh the truth. And then we got, but let your communication be yea and nay. When somebody's yes, give them a yes or no, or whatsoever is more than these. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall what? Make you free. We shall know the truth. Recompense to no man evil, and then provide things honest in the sight of all men. And that talks about honesty. So each one of us need to ask God to help you to stop lying. Oh, you all hear me? I mean, I was really, last week when we had our group here, and I appreciate one of the young ladies, she says, we all lie all the time. I don't know if I like that we. Just kind of say you lie all the time. Oh, you with me? So you do some lying all the time. But it's a deception, you all, because if you told me you lied all the time, I wouldn't hire you. I wouldn't bring you on the job. You definitely, if a woman lied to you all the time, would you want to marry him? I mean, if they lied not all the time, just a few times, or a man, would you want to marry a man that he's a liar? So I just love the guy, but one thing I don't like about him, he's lying. That's a big reason for not marrying him. Are you all with me? So you ask God, and I found this scripture in James 1:5, and I get to slow down and pace myself. Coach, you did get a package over there, so if you have to leave early, thank you. Okay, James 1:5 says, if any of you lack wisdom, so we could ask God, Father, in Jesus' name, won't y'all just bow your heads right now as we go into the teaching. And maybe you've been a person that's, you just lie, you've been dishonest, you haven't been as transparent as you should, and you really want an opportunity to turn your life around. Well, here's what the Bible says. In James 1:5, it says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that gives all men liberally. And listen what he says. He won't defame you, not, and it shall be given him. So I want y'all to hear me right now as you look at me. So you could go to your Heavenly Father. See, that's why I go to my Heavenly Father, and I can share anything with him because he won't, the Bible here says upbraideth, but it talks about he won't, listen what he won't do to you. He won't rail on you. He won't revile you. He won't defame you. But what has happened with most people is, because they lie, it says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth all men liberally, and defame not, and it shall be given. Is everyone here with me so far? And welcome to the Sunday morning mastermind class. Those who are watching right now by Facebook, those who's watching by YouTube, this online mastermind class, we appreciate those in the auditorium. We appreciate you. If it's too cold, we cut on the heat. Is that okay? Glad to see you, Dr. Prince. How you, all you wonderful people. Glad to see you. So look what the Bible says. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth all men liberally, and he won't defame you. He won't rail on you. Isn't it interesting? How many of y'all got parents or had parents that if you told them the truth, even if you told them the truth, they're going to still beat you up or spank you? Well, see, God doesn't operate like that. You can go to him and tell him, hey, I done messed up. I done screwed up. I've done all this terrible stuff. And the Bible says he will not defame you. He's not going to put you down. He's not going to revile you. He's not going to make you feel bad. But what our parents have done, they said, well, you better tell us the truth. But look how they say it. Tell us the truth or else. and it has this thread in it. So that's it. So let's talk about honest about some things. Let's just talk about some things before we go into the ebook on our. Those who are watching right now can watch us on YouTube and Facebook, and we're going to go over the ebook shortly where we go into what is honesty. But let's talk about some things that maybe in general that we need to be honest about. Well, you know what? One of the things I did this week, we men need to rise up and stand up in the gap for women and apologize on behalf of all women who have been raped, molested, experienced domestic violence and mistreatment and deception. Ezekiel 22 and 30 says, "And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap for the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found none." You know what I did this week, Coach Dan Ray and Coach Futel? I actually sent to my daughters. I sent to my daughters a message. I sent to my daughters a message around all the men that may have hurt them. And guess what I did, Coach? I stood in the gap for them, and I called them, Kim, and I said, let me just apologize to you for all of the men that messed over you, all of the men that done you wrong, all the men that that was deceptive to you and lied to you. And I sent that out this week to various people. And will you be that man that will be honest with women doing dating and friendship and fellowship and engagement and marriage? And will you be able to stand in the gap? Some things about being honest with. So I called and I texted. I sent to my daughters and some other women, and I told them, hey, let me apologize on behalf of all these men that have messed over you. Talking about being honest, some people won't be honest or transparent until they come to themselves. I happened to be talking to Brother Demetrius this week. Matter of fact, he called me and he made the revelation. He had this revelation about coming to yourself. Talking about you, yeah. And he's talking about when we come to ourselves. And let me read what it says. It says, "And a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, 'Father, give me the portion of goods. Give me the portion of the good that falleth to me.' And he divided unto them. And many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance in riotous living. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in the land, and began to be in want. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into the fields." And then it says, "And he would faint and have his belly was full. He had to eat the swine that the pigs had." And it says, but look what it says. I want y'all to hear this. It says, "And when he came to himself, he said, 'How many hard servants of my father have bread enough to spare, and I perish?'" And he came to himself. And matter of fact, you got to come to yourself. When you come to yourself, that's when you can be honest about your spiritual life, about your health life, about your mental life, your financial life, until you come to yourself. And everybody needs to come to themselves. And I sad to say, you all, 9 out of 10 people will probably never come to themselves because they will never change. Because coming to yourself is a recognition that I need to change. I need to change in what all aspects of our life, our spiritual life, our health life, our mental life, our relationship life, our sex life, our love life. When are you going to come to yourself? And you know, I got families and friends and people that I interact with all the time, and my prayer after Demetrius shared that with me this week, I said, my prayer for people that I love, I pray, Lord, that they come to themselves. And then when we come to ourselves, we'll find out how much God really loves us, how much we've been missing out on in life. And when you come to yourself, you'll be able to break the pattern that has kept your life in unresolved issues and unhealed hurts and unresolved situations. Well, just being honest, some people won't be honest and transparent in their life until they come to themselves. Well, are you all aware that lying, we was talking about lying and honesty and transparency today. Who are some of the folk that's least watching? I'll just kind of merge them in here. Do you all know that lying could actually cost you your life? Now, I'm not good at lying. I'm going to be honest. I've tried it. I'm just not good at it. As a matter of fact, I've always got myself in trouble for telling the truth. But listen to this. Lying can cost you your life. Let me give you a story in the Bible to show you someone that lost their life. The Bible, here's a story. The story is found in Acts chapter 5, verse 1 through 11. I'm not going to read it all. It describes a husband and a wife. These people, people that say they knew the Lord, Ananias and Sapphira. Have y'all heard of Ananias and Sapphira? See, lying, you could actually lose your life for lying. You could lose your life. And listen what it says. They were selling their possession and lying about the proceeds and pretending to give everything to the church while secretly keeping back a part of the money. And Peter confronts Ananias. He confronts him, and guess what? While Peter was confronting him, Ananias dropped dead in the house of the Lord. He dropped dead suddenly. Then his wife came in and told the same lie about property that they really owned. Are you all with me? Property that they really, really own themselves. And then the Bible says that Ananias Sapphira lies to Peter, and she also drops dead. Just because everyone is lying doesn't make it right. How many understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make it right. So lying is all about deceiving yourself and deceiving other people. Well, just speaking of some things around honesty. I want you to hear this story. I want you to hear this. I'm slowing down today. Don't have to hoop and holler. Don't plan to do it. Let's talk about some honesty. Let's talk about you now. Those that's watching me right now on YouTube, those that's watching me. Let me see this little thing here. I can't, it's upside down. Can you turn it around? But those who's watching me, let's talk about honesty about you. Let's talk about some things about you. And Tina Campbell, glad to see Tina is on with us here today. And Brenda Harris, God bless you, Brenda. Always glad to see you. Dr. Edith Thrower from Portland, Oregon is with us. And Dr. Ovetta Leary, appreciate Dr. Ovetta Leary. We was looking for our coffee, what? And also Janice Robinson. We appreciate Janice today, and anybody else on there. Make sure y'all got everybody on there today, right? But I want y'all to hear this real quick. Again, I just want you to hear this before we go to our ebook, and we're going to try to get you out a little earlier today, and I'm pacing myself. Most people are not honest about their happiness, their love, their joy, and peace. I want y'all to hear this. Most people that you and I know, they pretend that they are happy, but spend a lifetime sabotaging their very own happiness. They sabotage their very own love. They sabotage their very own joy. You know, from 0 to 18, most of these people grew up believing that they don't deserve good things like love, joy, peace, and happiness. Did y'all hear what I just said? There are people from 0 to 18, the majority of people that you and I know all over the world, even a lot of our friends, from 0 to 7, they grew up believing they don't deserve good things like love, joy, peace, and happiness. Your brain activates the sabotage in your life when you start feeling good or when you start feeling happy. You start feeling unsafe because you don't feel you deserve love, joy, peace, and happiness. Did y'all hear me, everyone? So then you start sabotaging your relationships by pushing others away. And as a result of pushing others away, the people that really love you, you begin to push them away because you really feel you don't deserve them or deserve happiness or peace and joy in your life. Because you don't feel you deserve love or joy or peace or happiness, guess what happens? You look for problems in the relationship. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone? You just been in a relationship with someone, I have, and then all they do is look for problems where there is none, destroying the relationship. And you blow up a very small issue in the relationship into a major problem. Have you ever just been in a relationship with family and friends, and the issue is so small, but yet next thing you know, you are everybody's pulling their guns out. Everybody's ready to fight. Everybody's ready to disagree. So you create, and what happens when you sabotage your own peace and you don't deserve love, you don't deserve joy or happiness, you create drama after drama in your relationship. And you blow up everything in the process. And then guess what happened? Oh, have you ever been in a relationship that somebody over talk you? They stop listening to you? And it's always drama. It's either they're a drama king or they're a drama queen. You understand what I'm saying? And so, honesty, the people must face these honest things about themselves. All of us must begin to face some things about ourselves. The people must face these things. You must be honest with yourself. And that deep down in, the reason why you have problems with happiness, with love, with joy, and really peace is because you feel that happiness makes you feel unsafe. You feel that joy makes you feel unsafe. You feel that peace makes you feel unsafe. Success makes you feel unsafe. Isn't that amazing, you all? Bright people that we know and great people that we know, they say, oh, I want to be happy. I want to have joy. I want to have peace in my life. But then what happens every time they begin to feel joy or peace, they sabotage it because they don't really feel that they really, really, really deserve it. And everybody must come to a part in their life. Everybody must search their heart. Do you really deserve to be happy? And one of the things I could say that every day that I practice, even in my book called 60 Seconds to a Focused Life, every day I focus on walking in divine health, spontaneous healing, and financial wealth, and walking in and practice. You got to practice being happy every day. You got to practice walking in joy. You have to practice walking in peace. So you begin to sabotage. You feel that happiness feels unsafe and joy feels unsafe because you don't feel worthy of it. You feel that victory feels unsafe. You feel that success is unsafe. So you got in this pattern and your life is not moving forward, and things that you take one step forward, 10 back, and your life just never seems to go forward, and seems like you can never come to the place and a consistency of holding on to joy and peace and happiness for a long time, then all of a sudden, again, you sabotage it because it makes you feel unsafe. It makes you feel you're not worthy. So you feel unsafe. It's just a matter of time that happiness, joy, and peace will be taken from you. So here's what we have, you all. That's why everybody's got to look at the honesty. They say they want to get married. They get married because they're looking for peace and joy in the marriage or even in the relationship. And when that don't work out, so what we have here, so you feel it's just a matter of time that happiness and joy and peace will be taken from you. So that's why you feel you feel you don't deserve it, and you feel unworthy, and you feel it's going to be taken away from you. But the good news is you can now be honest with yourself, and you can stop the sabotage in your life by recognizing what happened to you. Everybody needs to recognize what happened to me from 0 to 7. What happened to me from 7 to 18 years old? And we've all have had unhealed hurts and unresolved issues. And these issues need to be resolved. So those are some things that I wanted to share with you. Now, what is honesty? Let's take a look. Let's go, those who are looking right now, those who are online and want to follow us through this. What is honesty? I mean, this is not a message that make people shout or dance. I don't see too many people shouting and dancing on this. Honesty as a truthful representation, and we're not going to read all this. Honesty means consistently representing facts as one's belief. And again, remember now, just because you're honest doesn't mean that the people that you're honest with are going to like what you said. Are you all here with me? Just because you're honest with somebody, and do you not know being honest with some folk, they can actually get mad at you as a result of your being honest. And then, but honesty as a truth representation. What is honesty? Honesty as integrity and communication. We're almost there, you all. Remember, we're cutting it short a little bit today. Kind of, this message on honesty, we started dealing with the line last week. We're dealing with honesty this week. And then next week, we're going to be with how to just be transparent. Honesty as an alignment between beliefs and actions. Honesty is the alignment of what one thinks or say or do. Honesty as accountability, holding each other accountable. And honesty is very important. How many of y'all know if a relationship is going to be held together, you have to be honest? Is that right? I use dating. I have this chart around dating. In your dating, when you're meeting someone, you should be honest about your relationship with them. Dr. Avetta, our vice president, is here. Is that right? So if you're dating, but you know what people normally do on that first date? They tell all these lies about how great they are and how wonderful they are. No, just be honest. Just be open and honest about in your dating and let people know where you are. And then dating, once you date someone now, 6 months later now, you all are becoming friends. Everyone gets to know each other. So we have a responsibility of being honest in our friendship. This is the process of getting married. If you want to get married, here's how you do it. Number one, you go through a dating period and a dating period of honesty, where transparency. But you don't share everything during that dating. When you first start dating, you don't know if it's going to continue. But if it continues on, you move from dating now into, watch this process, from dating to friendship. Won't y'all say friendship? And then after you become friends with someone, you share more and more information about yourself. Now, one of my friends says, well, when do you start getting at body counts? Do you get how many sexual body counts you had? Do you get at that in dating or when? And they want to get at it to dating. Well, you want to cut that person off quick, right? And who's going to be sharing their body count with you on the first date, the first 2 or 3 dates? So we go through dating. Everybody say dating. So the next thing you go through, and you become honest. Here's the next one. You go through friendship. Now you all are friends, and you're becoming more and more honest about your life. Then you go through, here's the third one you go through, is fellowship. Now your relationship is getting more deeper, even in fellowship. Maybe y'all praying together. Maybe you go just much deeper. And then you start sharing more information. Now when you get into the engagement period, this is when you can ask about body count, about your spiritual life, your health life, your mental life, because now you're getting engaged. Matter of fact, my daughter is getting married on Sunday, June 28th. So our focus group, we're going to have to move it. I told her we're at the bus. She's getting married. So I'm going to go. You understand what I'm saying. So God bless. That don't mean your family listen to everything you say, right? And but nevertheless, she's got my blessing. I plan to be there. I'm going to have the first a white person in my family. So somebody said, well, Whitbird, you had them in your family. You got them before. You just don't know. My last name is Winbird. That's a white man's name. They named my family. Are y'all with me? But I'll officially, and my daughter now say, because both of them dating white guys, they said, Daddy, please don't mess it up for us. Don't be a racist. I said, I'm not a racist, but I'm gonna say some stuff. And I told him, I said, now if you mess with my daughter, I'm gonna show you what the ghetto was all about. I'll be at your door. Are y'all here with me? So, but let's go. So now during the engagement period, it's good. Now you can start sharing your life. Once you start getting at the engagement period, you want to know. You want to know about folk. Are you all with me? I shouldn't have never told nobody my body count a year ago. I'm telling you, I just shouldn't have never did that. Are you with me? But, publicly, I told my body count. And guess what? My body count has stayed at that level, too. It hasn't increased. So, and then as you get into, that is funny, isn't it? Yeah. And then the next one is marriage. When you get into marriage, you should have shared all that. So honesty, let's move on a little bit more. Honesty as respect for others' right to know. It is very important. Honesty. Now, honesty, basically, guess what honesty is? Honesty is when somebody asks you a question. When someone asks you a question, you should be honest with them. And you could say either yes or no, or I don't want to discuss it. That's being honest. But to say yes, but to tell someone something and it's not true, now what you're doing, you're being dishonest. And then the next one is transparency. Guess what transparency is, everyone? You know what transparency is? Is when you're in a relationship with someone, say, especially in a relationship, is that you're in a relationship with someone and you're just sharing some stuff that they didn't ask you to share because you want them to know. Are you all here with me? Say you're in the engagement period, you want them to know where you are spiritually, where you are in your health, where you are in your mental health, where you are in your financial health. Yeah, now you want them to know. Transparency. So let's go on. Honesty. Again, this is not a message that makes you shout and dance. Matter of fact, most folk just, now on the internet, it was interesting, the number of people that did respond to the promos I thought were really great. Honesty as consistency over time. Honesty as disclosure. It says honesty involves candidly admitting limits of knowledge. Honesty as a moral courage. Honesty requires the courage to tell the truth. And sometimes people don't want to hear that. They do not want to hear the truth. Are you all here with me? I had to deal with a situation, several situations where even in my business, I guess it was how can I say this? It was better that we all lost the money than to try to fix up the person who were dishonest. Because this person was dishonest, our company and my fee and all that got hung up in it. But guess what? As a result of what they did, I'm going to end up making 3 times more than that from other customers. Are y'all here with me? Because someone lied. And they lied during that period of time. But let's go on. Honesty as avoidance of deception by omission. Honesty includes not hiding relevant information about yourself or omitting key facts that would distort the full picture. You know, I always pick on dating and fellowship. I like to deal with them. They say, Winburn, you pick with people all the time in that area. Because in the area of relationships, you know, of dating and fellowship and friendship and engagement, people are just not honest about each other. You know, they're just really just not honest about their lives. And they feel if I tell it, they may not like me. Well, why do you want to stay with someone that doesn't like you? I mean, why would you want to be with someone? I've always been taught is you ought to want somebody that wants you. Did y'all hear me? Why would you want to be dating a woman or dating a man that they don't want you? You feel that I've got to lie to keep them. Then that's not the person that you ought to be with. That's not the person that you're going to share your life with. I was telling a friend of mine last night is that I want being in relationships and stuff, I want somebody to want me. I was just giving examples. Now, I mean, think about it. I got a big, say I'm in a relationship with you, Kim. No, I shouldn't be that because, but I'm just, hey, hey, everybody woke up then. God shouldn't be in no relationship with Kim. Are y'all here with me? So, but it's so important, you all, is that what we've done and coming up in college and stuff, we kind of embellished the truth. Everybody thought I was wealthy in college. They thought I had plenty of money, but I was on welfare. And, the people just didn't know it. I dressed nice, smelled nice. But I want to get back to in dating and in fellowship is that what people do, and they want this man so bad, or they want this woman so bad that they've got to lie to them. And then you have to ask yourself the question, why do you want somebody that don't want you? Did y'all get it? And this happens a lot in relationships. So honesty is very important. Here it is. Honesty as ethical consistency. Now, here are 10 definitions of what it means to be honest. One, let's see what I have here. Here's 10 definitions of what it means to be dishonest. It's a deception as an intentional misrepresentation. And I like to use marriage as an example. And are you all aware that 60 to 70% of all marriages end in divorce? Are you all aware? Oh, and by the way, that's why I can understand my daughters, they're young and they want to get married and all this stuff. But if you put marriage, Coach Futel, on the stock market, it will go down. It will be a bad investment. Did y'all understand what I'm saying? Can I just help meddle with y'all a little bit right now? And I'm trying to keep my voice low, just pacing myself. But listen, if you put marriage, if you bought marriage as a stock, you're going to lose every time. Automatically, the moment you I'm going to write $100,000 into marriage. That means I lost 70% of my money already. Did y'all hear? Now, y'all ready for the statistics? White women get rid of their men. Y'all ready? They divorce I'm giving you an estimate. Don't take my word for all the details. White women they initiate 70% of the divorces, of their divorces. Black women will get rid of your butt in a moment, of a twinkling of an eye, 95%. So that means you have a 5% chance of you working out with a black woman. I mean, that's statistics. Please don't get upset. Oh, he's sex. No. I'm giving you the statistics. And then you wonder why people want to get married. And that's why it's important that deception and misrepresentation all undermines this. You can't marry somebody and expect they're going to make you happy. And I did that when I first got married. you know, we think we young guys and coming up, and that was 47 years ago when I got married. Y'all, some of y'all in here are not even that old. And we got into this thing and this deception about marriage. So 95%. Now, are you all aware, which is not a good statistics, 74% of African-American women are unmarried. Unmarried. Not that they have to be married. Nobody has to be married. But what happened, ERA came in, and then many African-American women embraced equal rights. I want equal rights for women. I want equal pay for women. But what happened, some of the white women during the period of time became rebellious against their husbands, and then African-American women did the same thing. In the early 1900s, 1920, are you all aware 85% of black family was intact? 85% had a husband and a wife. Are y'all ready right now? Only 24% of the black family is so-called intact, and that's where there's a man and a woman, husband or wife intact. Then you got, again, well, you count, if you got 74%, subtracted 26% of those, and then I hate to tell y'all this, half of those marriages are in trouble, the 26%. So you split that. So in 10 more years, you all, there will be no such thing as a black family at all. Because, again, and I'm saying that the number one major reason why relationships don't really work out is because it's not because you don't have the right person. And let me apologize today. And I want to move on quickly because I want to give you some steps on how to stop being dishonest and all that other stuff. But let me apologize to all of my class, all of those who are online, who've given thousands of dollars over the year. Let me apologize to you. I want to apologize to you. I was teaching and I taught not long ago that you got to marry the right person. Get that out of your head right now. There is no such thing as a right person. Y'all ready? You've got to marry the person that's willing to work their relationship out to the end, whether it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you got somebody willing to stick with you to the end on your ups, your downs, your messed up stuff, and you're hanging, that's the person you want to marry, who's going to stick with you to the end. Who's going to deal with the ugly? Because marriage has ugly spots in it. It has nasty stuff in it. It has the good. It has the bad. It has the ups and downs. So, Coach Dan, thank you. Thank you. So if you're going to marry someone, you need to marry someone that's going to stick with you, not when things go bad, not when you lose your job, not when the money is getting funny, not, when health goes bad or whatever it is, but the good and the bad. So I used to say, now I'm going to tell you, the people that's willing to stick with you until the end, that's the right person. That's the right person for your life. Oh, my God. Is that helpful, everybody? So I keep telling people, I got to marry the right person. No, let's assume you married the right person, but they're not willing to work with you and give and take and work together, and y'all work and iron sharpens iron. You have married the wrong person. So now stop going around seeking, I got to marry the right person. There is no right person other than the person that's willing to stick with you to the end. So what is dishonesty? Let's hurry up. Deception as intentional misrepresentation, lying by omission. Number 3, fabrication or fraud. Gaslighting and manipulative. The moment you're honest with someone, they start gaslighting. I used to tell you, my kids used to do this to me all the time. They gaslight me. They was gaslighting me. Now, Joseph didn't do as much, but they would gang up on me. The girls worked on me. The girls worked on me, and they would gaslight me. But let's look at this. Using tactics to make another person doubt their own memory. After I get through with my kids, I go and sit on the bed and said, Lord Jesus, did I say that? They had me all messed up. And then, of course, now since I wrote 60 Seconds to a Focused Life, I can deal with gaslighters now because I done wrote the book on it. Are y'all here with me? Look what it says, using tactics to make another person doubt their own memory, perception, or sanity in order to control them. And I didn't know my kids was trying to control me. They were literally trying to control me by making me look stupid. And I didn't know what gaslighting was. I know what it is now, and I know it when I see it. And then the next is false promises or commitments, agreeing to do everything with no genuine intent, dishonesty, cheating or stealing intellectual or material property, misleading measurements of data manipulation. They do that in the government. Harassment and exploitation through falsehoods. Let's go on. And then here's one, recounting invented details. That gets detailed. Administrative or professional dishonesty. Oh, by the way, we give AI credit for helping us pull our e-books together. Now, on tomorrow's Monday, hundreds of people will get our e-book. They're mailed out in Pennsylvania. Everybody will have this teaching on tomorrow in the e-book. Here are 25 practical steps to start being more honest in our daily life. Here's some things to be. Define what honesty means to you. Okay, that's one way we can do it. Define it. Number 2, start with small truths. Share a simple, authentic thought in low-stakes situations. Start tracking your honesty moments. I catch myself every now and then because subconsciously we've all been trained to embellish stuff, change stuff, and edit stuff. We all have been, and it could appear to be dishonest. I had to correct myself this morning on something. I said, no, I shouldn't have said it that way. So I had to check my own heart to say I can see how that could be deceptive to me. I caught it. The other person don't even know what I did. But in my own heart, I was able to catch it. You got to track your honesty. You got to practice pause before reply. Take 5-10 minutes to think before answering. Use I statements, and you got to admit your mistakes openly. You got to acknowledge your errors. You got to distinguish facts from opinions. Here's one. Set boundaries about truth-telling. Decide what you will and won't disclose in different relationships. Now, look at me, everybody. Those who are here, those who are online. You don't have to always tell everybody everything. That's not important. First of all, it's not even edifying. It is really not edifying to tell your partner, family, everything. Did y'all hear what with me? You know what's interesting? My daughter was helping me out yesterday, and of course, you don't have to tell everything. And I don't know what happened, but my FICO score dropped by 100 points. Do y'all know? Hey, Coach, you tell. It dropped to 100 points, and it sure wasn't because I wasn't paying bills. Are you all with me? But then when we looked at it again yesterday, it increased almost by 130 points. That's pretty good, isn't it? You know, now I didn't have to tell it at that time. Are you with me? If somebody looked at my FICO score, they would have said, oh, Jesus, Winbird's FICO, because you know how FICO scores go up and down, right? So we got to set boundaries about telling the truth. We got to prepare for tough conversations. This is what really breaks up relationships. I'm trying to close, y'all. This is really, really what breaks up relationships is tough conversations. There's a book, Dr. Demetrius Hill, that's out. It's called Crucial Conversations. Everybody should get that book. It's called Crucial. I turned it on to some of my colleagues in Columbus. We have 83 employees, and what I was telling them about, it's called Outline Key Points. The crucial conversations with the person that you're dating. You can use that book, Crucial Conversations in Dating, Crucial Conversations in Fellowship, crucial conversations in friendship, crucial conversations in engagement, crucial conversations in marriage. It's the tough conversations. And this is what you have to do. And I pray that my daughter and her fiance has had the tough conversations. Is that right, Coach Utel? You got to have the tough conversations about where are we spiritually? Where are we in our health life? Where are we mentally? Where are we in our relationship? Where are we in our business? And you got to have these tough conversations. Almost everybody, you got to practice active listening. Here's another thing that can destroy relationships is you're not listening. You're looking to hear the next statement so you can fight. You ever have people, they're not listening, so they already got the answer. They got the gun loaded. They're ready. I'm going to, because they're really not listening to you. So you got to reflect back what you heard, right? They're not listening, and I've done that before. You know, I've been in debates with folk where I didn't hear them, I didn't listen, and you got to practice active listening. You got to listen to each other. And when you don't listen to someone, you don't value them because it's all about you. It's all about your stuff, all about your love, all about your sex, all about your getting off, all about your money, all about your life. And life just doesn't center around just you. Are you all here with me? Practice active listening. Here's one. Create a safe environment for honesty. You got to have a safe environment. You're dating someone, engagement, marriage, and partnership, or whatever it is. I hit on those because that's where most problems are, is people got to feel safe that they could talk to you, you know, because guess what people are going to do? If they don't feel that you are safe, they're not going to talk to you. I know I'm not. I'm not going to come. Yeah. So we got to create a safe environment for honesty. Encourage. So if I tell him, he's going to explode. He's going to go off. He's going to do this and that. So sometimes it's not about the person not being honest. They can't talk to you because you're hostile. You're violent. You may stab somebody, hurt somebody. So you got to create a safe environment for honesty. You got to think honesty when it's shared, and even when it's uncomfortable. And many times people want to hear what they want to hear. Use truthful but kind language. Be direct without being harsh. Choose words. Here it is. Set feedback on honesty. We're almost there, everybody. Reduce white lies and routine tasks. The white lies are bad. Bad lies, black lies are bad. Minimize all this. I'm busy when you're free. We should all be open and candid. Be transparent. Transparency, I'm going to tell you, transparency is just volunteering information about yourself. Just say, hey, you need to know this about me, Winburn. You need to know this. Back to relationships again. Here we are. Back to, I hear it all. The reason why I'm into relationships, because this is what most of my friends and my wealthy people talk about all the time. I have one wealthy friend, I hope he ain't listening today, and he had to get rid of this girl. No, she got rid of him. You know, he's 35, she's 35, he's about 80, and but so much for that. And even money can't keep some people. Y'all know that, right? You know, but everybody needs to be transparent in the relationship. People need to know about you. And if you want to have a better relationship, just be open, be transparent about volunteer, share when you don't know something or can't commit, set realistic boundaries. So next week is transparency, and we'll assign actions with values. Okay, develop a personal integrity. It's all about integrity. It's all about shooting straight. One of the things I like about Brother Demetrius over there, hey, when I asked him a question, he tell me the truth. Now, I don't know what he tells y'all, but I know when he's speaking to me, I get the truth because I already know the answer. And Demetrius don't want to drop dead in my presence. You know, like Ananias and Sapphira. Y'all know that. So, look, I better come clean, you know. I better come clean. Develop a personal integrity. Have that. Y'all, are we having fun already, everybody? And y'all can see I'm wrapping up, and I went a little longer, but that's okay. Today, build a truth-telling support. Surround yourself with people who value honesty. And then use truthful defaults in communication. When in doubt, opt for honesty. Coach, if you tell, is there anybody else you want me to at least let everybody? Well, I tell you, I hope my daughter ain't listening today. You know, okay, we have Anna. Ann Barrage. Gotcha. On the YouTube version side, And who was that? Oh, okay. Dark and Lovely. Okay. We appreciate them today. Okay, let's go on. Blessings. And practice accountability partnership. Pair up with someone who calls you out. Okay, come on. Oh, that's it. Is that it? You know, again, this is not a message to make you shout or dance, but hopefully to help you in your dealings and your relationships and your businesses and all the stuff that we do, that we be open, honest, and accountable. I tell you, the Lord is so good, isn't he? And he's so wonderful and worthy to be praised, and it's just so amazing. Thank you. Let's those who would like to give on Cash App, some have already started giving on Cash App. You could do that right now. Those at YouTube, you could tune in right now, give here at Cash App. And let me back up here so you can see the Cash App. Thank you. And then by mail, you could also give by mail. Well, guess what? We're getting ready to go off the air. Next week, we're going to talk about transparency. Now, we'll stick around here. Coach Futel, I guess you got to leave here in a minute, right? Well, we're all going to get out here. We got, okay, a few folk. We may have a little quick debrief, and then we're gone. So, hey, may God bless you. Until we meet again, I'll see you next week. We'll talk about transparency, and I'll be right back with you. Thank you for your gift today. Thank you. I am Charlie Winburn, your life coach with Renew Community Church right here in the city of Cincinnati. And I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health even as your soul prospers. Did you know that you are both human and divine, and that you deserve to live a better life in Christ right here on earth? Our messages are practical, they are raw, they're fun, and they are focused on real issues as it relates to your spiritual life, health life, your mental life, your financial life, your relationship life, and even your business life and community life. Today, we have another real life application message designed especially for you and your family. Remember, before we get started today, you can learn more about Renew Community Church free life coaching by visiting our website, renewcommunitychurch.org, or you can listen to us every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. each Sunday on YouTube, Renew Community Church live stream, or reach me at 513-884-7832. I want you to join me now for another life-changing message with Charlie Winburn, your life coach, right here in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio.